Hey everyone, it's Games Through Pulp. Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Let's Talk About It. Today we're going to be talking about some YouTube drama, unfortunately, I guess. But quickly before we jump into that, just a couple of quick announcements. First thing is that over the weekend, my channel surpassed... Let's get that out of there. You can't see that, but this little pop-up saying my Java needs to be updated. My YouTube channel surpassed 15,000 video views of active videos, because my channel had actually been above 15,000 video views for quite a while, but it didn't count because I deleted a bunch of videos. But anyways, it passed 15,000 views, so I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's watched, even if you don't watch anymore, which means you wouldn't be watching this, but that's okay. Even if you didn't watch or don't watch anymore, or you're a new viewer and you've only watched a couple episodes or a couple videos, thank you very much for your support. It means a lot. And I mean, when I started this, I sort of just did it to test out my old crappy computer, which was old and crappy, and I wanted to see what it was capable of. And I never really thought that it would get to this point. So thank you very much for all your support, and hopefully we'll be to 20,000 video views pretty soon. And that's, oh yeah, and the second announcement, so there's that. And then the second announcement is that hopefully, I know I said I would be getting a new mic like soon, and that was over a month ago. I'm still working on it. Hopefully I'll have it pretty soon. I'm hoping by the end of, or actually I'm hoping by the middle of May I'll be able to have a new mic, and I'm aiming for that right now. We'll see whether or not I'm able to actually have that accomplished or not. And yeah, that's all for the announcement front. So aside from that, I guess we can just hop into what we're going to talk about today. So if you are not following the YouTube news, which is honestly, I don't really blame you for not following the YouTube news, but if you're not following the YouTube news, there's been a ton of drama with different YouTubers lately. Some of this is a little bit older, but in case you weren't up to date, I'm going to just do a quick little recap. So this goes back, I think, a month or two ago now. But we're going to start with Leafy is Here. So if you don't know who that is, Leafy is Here is a YouTuber who basically just makes fun of other YouTubers. That's his whole, basically his channel style, is that he criticizes and makes fun of other YouTubers for a bunch of different various things, whether it's their looks or anything like that, or just what they're saying, what they're talking about. And Leafy has sort of rocketed to internet fame. He started, I think, he became mainstream only probably 6 or 7 months ago, and now he's up to, I think, almost 2 million, if not more than 2 million subscribers. So he is definitely someone who very quickly became relevant in the YouTube community. And so Leafy has always walked this very fine line between, I'm going to just call it bullying, because I think cyberbullying is a stupid name. So let's just say bullying. He's always walked a fine line between bullying and just having, like, just trying to be, like, humorous and poking fun at somebody. And I think it is a hard line to cross, and because of that, Leafy is often going to find himself in a little bit of trouble, and that's just the nature of what he records. However, if you do find yourself, basically the biggest issue with Leafy, what happened was Leafy made fun of a YouTuber who had like a disability, and so obviously that's not something you want to do, just because it's not a very, like, it's a terrible thing to make fun of someone who's already sort of at a disadvantage, because their whole life they've been being bullied because of something they can't control, right? And so Leafy took a lot of backlash for that, and he lost some subscribers, and then a bunch of the subscribers just came back. And so it brought forward a pretty important argument, in my opinion, and that argument was that, like, where do you draw the line between this, like, comedy and just being a dick? And I think that Leafy and a lot of people have sort of thought this as well. I'll post some links to some videos like that I thought were pretty good with this issue. But Leafy has, I think, in my opinion, crossed the line too much. And just because it's not that what he's saying is necessarily bad. I've watched a couple of his videos, and some of them are funny, and some of them aren't that serious. And if Leafy was to make fun of me for my recordings, because I do playthroughs and all that kind of, or just Let's Plays and stuff like that, I wouldn't really care. In my opinion, if you're picking on somebody who has the capability to stand up for themselves, and they choose not to, and they choose to cry, like that you're offending them, and that it's not fair what you're doing. Like if he was to bully me and I didn't stand up for myself and I just let him do it, I wouldn't feel bad. Like I wouldn't feel bad for myself. Like that's sort of my fault that I don't stick up for myself and sort of make sure that he's not able to do this and get away with it. But what I have a problem with, and this is, I think, a big issue, is when someone makes fun of somebody who's not really able to defend themselves. Like if you're making fun of somebody who has a disability, they don't have a choice in having the disability. It's not like they woke up in the morning and they're like, you know what, I'm going to have a disability today. That's not how it works. It's not fair to make fun of something that a person can't change. If you don't like the way I talk, or you don't like my playthroughs, or you think that they're stupid, okay, that's fine. Then you can make fun of me if you want. I don't care. But it's something I can change. If I don't like that people are making fun of me for the way I do my YouTube videos, then I can change the way I do my YouTube videos, and then that's the end of that. But for somebody to make fun of a person because they have a disability, I think is crossed the line. And another thing that I find problematic with Leafy is that the only content he ever records is making fun of people. I think that if you did something where, like, for example, say I had all these videos and then an extra video a week I put out and it was just roasting another YouTuber, I think that that'd be more acceptable than what Leafy's doing currently, when it's just literally every single video is just a roast session. I don't think that that's the right way to build a community, and I also don't think that's the right way to just operate as a person. I think that if you're constantly criticizing other people, I mean, if he doesn't even, if he was criticizing himself at the same time, it'd be one thing, but he's not. He's sort of just always criticizing other people, and I think that I have a concern with that, just because if you think that you're like you can't think that you're the best and everything you do is great. And I know that I might be wrong. Maybe Leafy has criticized himself and I haven't noticed or I haven't seen. But I have a problem with people who like to try and make fun of other people without looking themselves in the mirror first and identifying what their flaws are. Just because if you don't think you have flaws, then I don't think you're in the right to sort of criticize anybody, because obviously you're too blind to notice, because everyone has flaws. Nobody's perfect. And I think that if you can't recognize that, then you probably shouldn't be criticizing other people. But that was one thing. That was the one issue with YouTube drama and all that stuff. And so Leafy came out eventually and apologized for making fun of someone with a disability, and everyone sort of forgave him, or for the most part, the community forgave him. And then he criticized another person and sort of, or he didn't. He kept doing the same videos, and so this was bound to happen. But he eventually criticized somebody who said that this is bullying, and I think that it ultimately comes down to, for me, to can this person defend themselves or not. And if they can't defend themselves, then you probably shouldn't be making fun of them. And if they can't defend themselves, that doesn't mean you can just go crazy and just be a huge dick, which is what Leafy does. He doesn't hold back. He makes fun of people's looks. He makes fun of things that people can't change. And I think that's just a low blow, and that's something that people shouldn't do. If you can't change something, like what are you making fun of a person to make them feel bad? I don't think is a good method of life. So that's pretty much it with Leafy. And the Leafy business has been happening, and then it's been, it's been always there, but I think it highlighted a greater issue in the YouTube community lately, and that's the sort of mob mentality that has been accompanied with YouTube. If Leafy had no following, or if Leafy's followers watched his roasts and then just laughed and liked the video and then went on with their day, that'd be one thing. But part of the biggest problem with Leafy is that his viewers would go to other channels and they would like basically spam them with like different things like hiss, which is Leafy's little like slogan thing, and then or like kill yourself and all this stuff in the comments, and that's where it crossed the line. And I don't think it's Leafy's job to tell other people what to do. That's definitely not what I'm saying. I don't think it's Leafy's responsibility, but I think it is Leafy's responsibility to understand his audience and to understand this is what's going to happen if you're going to roast somebody. And so you're like, he should prepare himself to sort of I don't know how to explain this. He should basically just make sure that he's not picking targets that are just gonna like basically get destroyed. Like there's been videos he made fun of this one person, this like goth guy who put like a hex on Leafy, and like I thought that was an example of something that was acceptable, just because if the guy didn't like what the people were saying and he was taking it to heart and he didn't think that it was fair, all the criticisms that he was getting, then he very easily could have just changed the way he dressed and changed the way he did his like didn't wear makeup and all that kind of stuff. But when Leafy targets people who can't defend themselves, that's when I have an issue. So that was it with Leafy. I've said that a lot of times, but it brought a bunch of other YouTubers to the sort of forefront and brought their opinions on the issue to the forefront. And so there was quite a few big name YouTubers, and I'm pretty sure this was started with Markiplier, I believe, who posted basically a video that was just him talking about what his opinions were on the whole subject matter and what he thought about the whole mentality of people, just the way the sort of YouTube has changed, and how people used to. Markiplier's it wasn't really a message in Markiplier's video. It was more of just him talking about like how YouTube has changed. And Markiplier's like biggest point was that in the past, YouTube used to be a place where content creators could come together and they could come up with like unique content and work together and collaborate. And that's not really the desire anymore. The desire now is to come and is to sort of get famous fast and make as much money as you can, and then get out and then just keep making the content that makes you the money. And Markiplier had a problem with that. He thought that wasn't the point of YouTube, and that wasn't what YouTube was meant to be. And I would have to agree with him. But we're going to touch on Markiplier after I summarize everything else. So Markiplier made a video, and then close to the same time, PewDiePie made a video, and then responding to both of them, KSI made a video. And basically the PewDiePie was a similar argument. PewDiePie was sort of, Markiplier and PewDiePie's arguments were sort of that the machine of YouTube has sort of taken a turn for the worse, and it is becoming a thing that we need to fix, because it's not a welcoming community anymore. It's a place that people shouldn't want to be a part of, and it's a place that needs to change, or it's going to like continue to turn into this place that isn't a very, I don't want to say safe space, because I'm not a safe space type of person, but a place that is it's just going to be so hateful that no one's going to want to come to the place anymore. And I think that they brought forward good points, and I think that that's something that definitely needs to be thought about, because if YouTube is a place, I think that YouTube has an opportunity. YouTube is still small and growing. Now that's not to say that it hasn't already created a niche for itself, because I think it has, but YouTube has the opportunity to build itself into something that isn't really like anything else out there. If you look at all the sort of, basically all the news goes for everything right now, everything in regular mainstream media goes for just the quick, down and dirty, let's get the news and let's move on with it. The news cycle that doesn't really care about actually making any difference. And I think that, YouTube has an opportunity to not be like that. Not be that thing that I think caused a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people in general to come to YouTube and to turn to YouTube as a place to get their information and a place to enjoy themselves, because it doesn't have that sort of I'm only in it to make the money type of feel to it. And I think that we have to be careful on YouTube that we don't develop into that, because that's not what YouTube should be, in my opinion, and I think that's something we have to watch out for. Now, KSI's whole argument was that basically by talking about these issues, they were just adding to the machine. PewDiePie and Markiplier were just adding to the problem, or not adding to the problem. He didn't think it was a problem, but he was just basically saying they're being hypocritical because they're also talking about the issue, which in turn just makes the issue more prevalent. And I think that that's, first of all, it's a flawed argument. I think that it's a little ridiculous to say that you can't talk about an issue without adding to the issue, because I think it's important to bring light to things that matter to light, and make sure that people know about them, because not everyone knew about this YouTube drama. If you don't follow YouTube closely and you don't really care about what's happening in the YouTube world, then you're not going to really care about what's or know what's happening. And so I think that's important for them to talk about it, because big names like PewDiePie, like Markiplier, that is what the community is built on. That's built on the backs of those YouTubers. And if those YouTubers don't want to talk about the issues, then no one is going to talk about the issues. And then these issues are going to sort of not be dealt with. And that's how, if you don't deal with something, you just put it off and let other people try and deal with it, then I don't think that you're going to achieve any of the change you want. And I think it's important for big YouTubers to talk about this, because I think that it is, I do think that it's a big problem that YouTube is turning into this sort of mob mentality. But I think that, I don't want to quote other people, but I think Phil DeFranco, who basically just reports the news, summed it up pretty well. He was basically saying that, like, it's not the job of the YouTuber to be the parents of the viewers. That's not at all what the purpose of all these arguments are. But I think that the purpose of the argument is that you shouldn't be just like, you shouldn't be trying to grow your channel just to make money. Like, if you're just if you're just doing that, if you're just trying to make money off of other people's expense, at other people's expense, you're not any better than any of the people that you sort of joined to avoid. Because I think a lot of people join YouTube because they sort of, not necessarily to make money, but they think, hey, like, how about I try this out, and if I can get this to work, then that's great, because I don't like the way the system is currently. And if you can avoid turning into one of the people that become, like, YouTubers too often are becoming the things they were trying to avoid when they joined YouTube. And I think that it's important to try and avoid just continuing that trend in the future. Because, what is going on here? I don't like this. Because I think that it's I don't want to say dangerous, but I think it'll affect the future of YouTube. And I think a lot of people, YouTube is big. YouTube is one of the biggest websites on the internet, but I don't think it's reached its full potential yet. And I think that it's important to try and make sure that when it does reach its full potential, it doesn't sort of become a place of just hate and just putting each other down. And that's not to say that I said this before, but this is not to say that I am like an advocate for safe space and you can't offend somebody or you're a terrible person. Like, that's not, I think that there's a difference between making fun of somebody and just trying to ruin them. And I think that a lot of this has come to light in the past with Leafy. I think Leafy sort of accelerated this argument well further ahead than it would have been without him, just because he sort of forced the community to look at an issue and figure out what to do about it, because of how he acted and what he was like. The community was forced to look at Leafy and figure out how we're going to deal with this, because there's people that are affected by this. And to be honest, I'm not really sure I was happy with what they concluded. Because for the most part, Leafy continues to gain popularity, and it's not that I don't like Leafy, and it's not that like, oh, Leafy's such a dick, screw him. It's just that I think that there needs to be a precedent set that you can't just go and try and ruin a person without not without anything. Like, you shouldn't be able to just go and ruin a person and expect that's and have that be acceptable in the community, because I don't think it should be. I don't think it is acceptable, and I feel a lot of other people don't as well. The people that don't find it acceptable are not speaking up about it, and that's the problem. And I think that is what needs to be addressed, and that's what needs to sort of be taken care of in a way, because if this issue's not dealt with, then people are going to continue to just make new channels like this. And already, just in the, is it nighttime again, or is it just dark down here? Oh, it's nighttime again. Just in the few months that Leafy's become popular, I've seen more and more just like roast channels. And so I think it's important to make sure that YouTubers like Leafy, while there's a space for them in the community, we have to make sure that it's not a space that is overpopulated and just overused, because it's really easy to just make fun of somebody. Making fun of someone is really easy to do, and that's sort of, it's not a creative thing to do. It's not something that is a unique skill, like, wow, this guy's really good at being a huge dick to somebody else. That's not something that people should try and encourage in the YouTube community. It can exist. I'm not saying it can't exist, and I think that it's important to exist. It's important to hold people to account and everything. But I think that there's a way of doing it, and that's not how it's being done. And that's what's important, is that it needs to be done in a way that isn't just trying to sort of ruin a person. I keep saying this, but it's I think an important. When Leafy roasts these people, he's not trying to just point out flaws in what they're doing. Like, if I was to, I'll let me see, let me think. I'm trying to think of a YouTuber I can criticize that, I don't know. Okay, let's just say, I've been criticizing Leafy this whole video, but I don't think that's a good example of what I'm talking about. Okay, let's just say Captain Sparkles. If you don't know who Captain Sparkles is, he's another big YouTuber who records video games. Say that I don't like the way he does his thumbnails, which I don't care how he does his thumbnails. I think they're good, I guess. But let's say I don't like the way he does his thumbnails, because he makes a lot of his thumbnails are just faces of him having like reactions to things that happen in the video. Say I don't like that. I don't need to go. I can say it in a way that's constructive. I can say it in a way that's not going to try and insult him. I can say it in a way I can just be like, I think Captain Sparkles could. His name's Jordan. I think that Jordan could create thumbnails that better represent what he's recording, and instead of having these clickbait face cams that like try and bait people into viewing the thing even though they're not necessarily in the video. That's one way to criticize Jordan. The other way would be, oh, Jordan makes all these stupid faces. He looks really dumb. He's so ugly. Why would they, like, this is bad because I'm not trying to actually roast him. But why would you subscribe? Why is he even recording? He's the worst YouTuber. Like, he looks like such an idiot. You should definitely you should go and unsubscribe and hate on his channel. That's basically what is being supported in the community, and that's not something that you want in the community. There's a difference between telling someone, like, criticizing them and telling them ways that you think they can improve, and just trying to make someone not want to do something anymore. And I think that it's important to make sure that the community is trying to encourage more people to record, because I think having more people recording betters the quality of the content in general. If you have one person recording on YouTube and everybody wants to see people record on YouTube, then what's going to happen is that if you have only one person that's able to record and no one else is able to, that one person can put up whatever the hell content they want. It could be the crappiest YouTube content ever. But if it's the only YouTube content, then people who want to watch YouTube are going to watch. Now, that's not to say that his content is good. It's just to say that he's the only person doing it, and he's the only person able to do it. And because of that, he is getting all of these views, and he's not getting any criticism, or he's not taking any criticism into account, because why would he need to? There's no one else. But if there's more YouTubers and there's a greater YouTube community, then you're able to sort of ensure that people are constantly trying to improve their content. People are trying to attract new viewers and make sure that the new viewers coming to their channel watch their content, and they want to subscribe and they want to stay. And I think that that's what YouTube should be trying to encourage. Not that you come on and you just try and make your channel look appealing by trying to belittle other YouTubers. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. We're pretty much done the interior of the house. That's all I wanted to say about this. Leafy can go be himself if he wants, which I'm sure he's going to, because someone as small as me is not going to mean anything to him. But I just thought that it was something that would be interesting to talk about. And if you want to watch more or look at the issue a little bit more, I'll post links to some of the videos. I won't post links to Leafy's channel, because that would sort of just be like promoting his channel, which is the opposite of what I want to do, because I have, like, it's not that I think that Leafy is like cancerous, like Leafy's a terrible person, like, oh, like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that Leafy needs to make some changes, in my opinion, to the way he does his recordings, or or it's not a very good thing that I believe should be on YouTube. So that's that's that. So I'll just go through. The house is done, I believe, the interior at least. You still have to do the roof and all that jazz. But what I'm thinking is the furnaces will go down here, right here, 3 furnaces, and we can put 1 chest in the corner over here. This has been a long video, I know, but it's okay. And then we'll put some stuff down here. So next video, we're going to finish up the building. We'll put in the roof, which should be an interesting time. And maybe we'll start on the next portion of do the yard. I think that this turned out pretty nice, though. I'll do a quick little walk around. I think that if you have any changes or little suggestions on how I can fix things or make things look better, then let me know. But I think that it's a good mix of windows and actual blocks. I don't like the way I started it. I'm not going to lie about that. I don't think I started the building looking very nice, but I think that it's developed into a pretty nice place. So yeah, that's everything. If you have any opinions on this YouTube drama in general or anything you think I missed, be sure to let me know in the comments below, and I will either talk about it in the next video or I will acknowledge your comment for sure. We can have a debate in the comment section below. I'm open to debate. I think that debate's a good thing, in case you didn't understand the whole moral of what I was saying. Moral of what I was saying was debate is good. So if you do want to debate, then feel free to comment below and we can talk about what you think I said wrong or what you think I said right. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. So if you're a new viewer, thank you for checking out my channel. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more content in the future. I record Grand Theft Auto 5 with the police mod. I do some CSGO stuff once in a while, and I also record Minecraft, as you can see. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for your continued support. It means a lot to me. And if you want to tell any of your friends about my channel, help me grow a little bit more, it would mean a lot. And it would help you continue to have content that you hopefully enjoy. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Maybe we'll just do a quick little peek and see if Villager Tom, I think was his name. I think Tom. See, the problem with giving people generic names is that you forget their names. No, none. There he is. I hear him. Where is he? Is he in church? Praying for his friends to come back? There he is. Hello, Tom. Maybe we can do some trades with you. Get some breads. But anyways, that's everything. Thank you guys very much for watching. Links to the videos I talked about today, as well as the playlist for the rest of the videos in this series, will be in the description below. So thank you guys very much for watching. My name is Game Fruit Pulp, and I will see you guys all later.